This is a picture of what I did for my original brooder, and it's a good idea. I originally started with only one bin. This is a Sterilite bin, and I put this heat plate from Tractor Supply in it. Note, it is way too high for these birds. But I put the plate for Tractor Supply in it. It barely fits, and put the food really close and the water really close in one of them. So I decided to buy a second one and cut a hole through the center so that they would have more room, and actually be able to get away from the heat, which is important. After day 1 or day 2, especially, like, they need to be able to start regulating their own heat. And be able to decide if they need to be colder or warmer. So if you were to have a light bulb, a heat light, what you would do is you would put it in one side on one side of the brooder box, and then it would provide a gradient. So the temperature gradient, it would be hot underneath the light, and then it would go to being less hot the further you get from it. So it's the same idea with giving them the chance to have be close to the heat or farther away from the heat. When I started these guys out, I used to put one water on either side, because there's a little tiny lip that they jump over, and I would put food on both sides. And then after the first changing of the paper towels, then I would just do water on one side and food on the other, and it keeps it a little bit cleaner. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. But I'll show you guys what I went to, and we built our own brooder, and it's a much better system. You can have much more animals in it, and it's a better deal. So I did not like the Tractor Supply brand brooder plate. It does not have small enough increments to move it up and down. It's made for chickens. It works great for chickens. It worked fine for quail that I raised in the summer, but ones that are in the fall or the winter, they really do need more heat than a room can offer. So let's go and see what my new system is. Here we go. Alright, for water, I use filtered water with a little bit of apple cider vinegar in it. I just put about that much. And this is a chick water, and this is the one to use for quail. It's a smaller one, they don't drown in. This just goes right on, twists, and then you turn it over when you're ready to put it in. We are going to be putting marbles in this when we turn it over. Alright. So this just gets turned over. And I got these marbles from Michael's. They're smaller marbles. I recommend getting the clear ones because I got blue and the blue stuff is coming off. So hopefully they're not eating it. What this does is it prevents your little birds from drowning. There we go. So this is the setup that we have. It's a homemade brooder made out of our old windows, a mirror that came with the house, and a couple of fish tank glass pieces, and we have wire on the floor underneath this blue paper towel. So going closer, the blue paper towel is so that they don't slip, and it will strengthen their legs because it has more grip than regular paper towel, and they're not going to eat it like a wood chip or pine shaving might have. I like the brooder plates because it doesn't have the same risk of fire as the heat bulbs do, and I have this in the house. So I have 2 plates, and I was testing them, and I'm going to come out with a review. And so the one on the right is a Brincia, and the one on the left is a, I forget what it's called, I'll insert it here. And I have my 2 quart jars with the quail waterers with the marbles in it, right next to the heat plates, so that they can get to it very easily. And then I have the food in between the heat plates, so that if they get too far away from it, then they can go under it. After the first couple days, it doesn't really matter. They're going to know where things are. But that's what I do for the first week, but really after the first couple days, they know what's going on. Something else to note is that I did not put the heat plates on the edge. There's room all the way around both of them. And that's so they don't get squished. Like if I put it closer to the edge, they may actually, try and all squeeze under one, and then they'll get squished. Whereas this way, they'll just be outside of it and have to find somewhere else, or just cuddle. The next video in the series will be taking the little hatchlings out and putting them in the brooder. See how it's done. You want to make sure that you have your brooder set up before your hatchlings are ready. If you can do this a day in advance, go ahead and do that. If not, a couple hours should be okay. If you have brooder plates, you do need a few hours for them to heat up. So be prepared for that, and we'll see you next time when we take the babies out.